Hey friends, Chubby Meeple here. Wanted to talk to you briefly about a game that's been out for a while. Current first print run is currently sold out, but they're getting ready to do a second print run on Kickstarter, as well as an expansion. The game I'm talking about today is called Dragoon. It's designed and published by Lay Waste Games. Let's go to the table. I'll give you a quick walkthrough of how to play, and then we'll come back here and I'll tell you what I think. To set up a game of Dragoon, obviously based on number of players. Now what we're looking at here is a 4-player setup, and the location of the dragons on the board is going to be determined mainly by your number of players. In a 4-player game, the dragons will be laid out as such. If you're playing with 3 players, the dragons will be laid out in a way that they're still equidistant from one another. And in a 2-player game, obviously we'd remove the 3rd dragon, and the players are simply going to be across from each other in this regard. Now, for this purposes of this video, I'm going to discuss mainly the 2-player game. And so you'll see these 2 dragons. You'll also put the dragon skulls for the matching colors on the board, as well as the thief token that will be discussed as we go through the gameplay. There's a thief that can steal gold from the dragon. You'll also put the thief's treasure chest, the 2 metal die, as well as your fortification markers, your claim tokens, as it were. You then will also deal 3 cards to each player from the action deck. These cards will determine the actions that players can take, and then also set next to the board that pile of cards as well as the population tiles. You're now set up and ready to play. I want to take a quick moment to discuss some of the components of the game. What you're looking at here is what is going to be referred to as the gold edition of Dragoon. All of the dragons here are full metal. These are full metal tokens. If I ding these together, they're metal tokens. You got the dragon's cave, you got the dragon itself, the different tokens that they use to claim populated areas are also metal. The dice in the game are metal as well, and have a very nice feel to them. All of these components are metal. So the little thief's treasure chest is a metal component in the game. All of the skulls, both dragon and the human skull, are metal. Again, this is the gold edition of the game. There will be a Kickstarted version coming here. The Kickstarter version is going to have some different colored dragons, plastic dragons, that will be their molded plastic, very nice looking as well, but they're going to come in a variety of colors as well. So again, this is the gold edition of the game, metal components. So if you like the look of the metal components, you'll want to get your hands on the gold edition. A game of Dragoon takes place over a series of turns, and each turn is made up of 3 phases. There is the Populate phase, where we populate areas of the board and have populations of humans, villages, and cities showing up. That is followed by the Action phase, where players will take actions which include moving around the board, stealing gold from other dragons, destroying cities, and claiming cities as well, playing action cards. You then have the Tribute phase, where the populated areas that you've claimed will then be giving gold as tribute to the dragon that they worship. So the more cities and populated areas that you claim, the more likely you are to obtain gold. Let's take a look at the 3 phases in turn. In the Populate phase, the landscape of the map is going to change dramatically at the beginning of each turn. Populate simply means we roll the 2 dice, and based on the die roll, we're going to put population tiles on the board. Now your die roll, the number of times you roll the die is determined by the number of players. It's always the number of players plus 1. So in a 2-player game like we see here, we're going to roll the dice 3 times. So we simply roll the dice, and in this case, for the purposes of this demo, I'm using this darker colored die as the black die, the lighter colored die as the red die. You can also use the others if you think this looks more red to you. You can use that red. I've just gone more light dark with it for the purposes of the video. So the dark die, I've rolled a 3. So that's going to be this 3 black. The light die, I've rolled a 6. So that's going to be up here. So that's basically determines the coordinates of the map as far as where we're going to put the population tiles. So black 3, red 6 indicates this space. Now there's nothing there, so we stick a black village tile on the board. We roll again. I've now rolled a black 1 and a red 2. Again, another empty space, so we put another population tile there. And then for the 3rd roll, we will roll a black 6 and a red 4. So we're up here with another village tile. So these are the 3 populated areas that we're going to play with for the first turn, essentially. Now these tiles will remain on the board unless destroyed by dragons or by action cards. as you're going through the play. Now, during the populate phase, if you roll the die, let's say I had rolled a die and I had rolled a black 3, red 6 again, and I hit a tile where I already have one of these black village tiles on here. If that happens, the tile simply flips over and becomes a more populous city. These cities are worth more during the tribute phase in terms of how much gold you're going to receive if you've claimed this city for your own. If during a die roll, I roll and land on a tile that already has a red city or has one of the dragon caves on it, because that can happen as well, what happens instead is the thief gains 3 gold. And when the thief gains gold, you simply move his little score indicator, his little human skull here. He gains 3 gold, and then you roll the die to place the thief's treasure chest somewhere on the map. So in this case, if that were what had happened, we'd have a red 3, black 4. The thief's treasure chest would be here. Now a dragon can move and steal from the thief's treasure chest. And we'll discuss that a little bit more during the action phase of the game. So that is the populate phase. Next, we move on to the action phase. At the start of the action phase, the player who is currently in last place determines which player will go first. So they could choose to go first themselves, or they could choose to have another player go first. If players are tied, as they would be at the start of a game, because no one has scored anything yet, the players simply roll off to determine turn order. So in this case, we'll say that the black nickel dragon here is the first player. On a player's turn during the action phase, they must take 3 actions. Must take 3 actions. So you have a series of actions that you can take. You can either move for a single action. So for one of my actions, I could move here. I could move here for a second action. And for a third action, I could simply place one of my claim tokens on this city tile, or on this village tile here, to claim it for myself, and this could potentially earn me gold in the tribute phase once the other dragon has taken his turn as well. So those are my actions that can be taken, or example of some of the actions that can be taken. I also have the option to simply destroy a city. If I opt to destroy a city, what will happen is I will gain, if I destroy a village, I gain 2 gold. If I destroy a city, I gain 4 gold. Simple enough. I'm simply destroying the city. And you must be standing on that tile in order to destroy it. So instead of claiming this, I could have used an action to destroy it instead and get rid of it from the game. Basically make this a vacant tile, automatically earning myself 2 gold rather than relying on the tribute phase there. So it's basically guaranteed gold. I also have the ability to move into, if I can move into a dragon's cave, I can roll the die and steal gold from my opponent directly. So I could come in here, I could simply roll the die, and in this case I would steal 3 gold. I would move this dragon's skull token down the score track 3, move my own up 3. So you also have the option of rolling. And each roll costs 1 action, so if I had 1 action to move into the cave, I could actually roll twice more to finish out my 3 actions. You also have the option to steal from the thief's treasure. So we had placed the thief's treasure chest on here. I could do the same thing. If I move into the square with the thief's treasure, I can roll the die and steal gold from the thief rather than stealing from my opponent. So then the thief would go down the track, my skull would move up the scoring track here, and once the thief gets to 0 on the track, his treasure chest comes back off of the map until he earns gold again. I also have the option to discard and draw. So I could simply discard a card from my hand and draw 1. That also costs 1 action. Or I can spend 2 actions to simply draw an extra card from the deck. Now at the start of my turn, we're going to talk about the action cards in kind of a separate area because there's so much that can be done with those here. But at the start of my turn, before I take any actions at all, the first thing I do is draw a card. Draw the top card and add it to my hand. There's no hand limit, so you can have any number of cards in your hand. And when playing cards during your action, we talked about some of the other actions, being able to move, claim cities, stealing treasure from either the dragon's cave or the thief's treasure, being able to destroy cities, drawing cards, discarding and drawing, those kinds of things. One of the other actions that you have is the ability to play cards during the action phase. Now, playing cards does not cost you an action, and there's no limit to the number of cards you can play. So if you have a handful of cards, you could play, in this case, if all of these cards could be played during this phase, I could play all 4 of these cards, do all 4 of these actions, and still have all 3 of my action points left, so that I could then take my other actions of moving and claiming. So I'm just going to simply play out really quickly, just to give you an idea of how this works. We have the action phase. I've drawn my card. My dragon's going to move 1, 2, and then he's simply going to place, for his third action, he's going to place a claim token on this village tile. So we're going to move to the gold dragon and take his turn now. He draws a card to start his turn, and he also has 3 actions. And this dragon really wants to be able to claim a city token or a village token so that he has the option or the ability to possibly gain some gold. So what he can do is, for 0 action points, he can simply play this Fair Wind card. Now, Fair Wind allows him to move 2 spaces, and he gets to skip the interaction with anything on the square that he passes over. And none of those movements none of those actions, none of those moves cost any movement points or any actions. So we simply play that card, and that's going to allow him to move 2 spaces. I still have all 3 of my actions left. So now I can move 1, 2, so that I can claim this village. And then maybe I just want to move again 3 so that I can continue my movement there. So we saw an example of one of the cards. Now that we are through the action phase and both dragons have taken their turn, we move to the tribute phase. During the tribute phase, populated villages and cities are given the chance to honor the dragon that has claimed that city with gold in an attempt to bribe that dragon and keep from destroying the city. During the tribute phase, it's very simple. Each player will roll a die. So for the black dragon, he rolls a die, you roll a 2. Now, what we do is we look at this tribute card. There's a tribute card that spells out exactly how everything works here. In the case of rolling a 2, you get 0 gold, whether you've claimed a village or a city. If you roll a 3, 4, or 5, each village is going to give you a gold. Each city will give you 3 gold. If you happen to roll a 6, you get 2 gold for a village, 4 gold for a city. So essentially the same amounts you would get if you had chosen to destroy that city. If you happen to roll a 1, you actually lose one of your claim tokens, which means simply removing your claim token from the board, and this village is no longer claimed by you. Essentially the citizens have revolted, taken it away from you there. So that has been rolled. He rolled a 2, no claim there. We have our gold dragon come in and roll his die. He rolled a 2, no gold there. Now, let's say they had rolled, we'll say they each rolled a 4. They each have 1 village, so what would happen is they would each gain 1 gold, as evidenced by the tribute card. So we simply would move each of those dragon skulls up 1 on the track. Now, that being said, if for some reason this nickel dragon was standing here on a city that the gold dragon had claimed, this city would not pay tribute to the gold dragon because it's being blocked by the black nickel dragon. So if your opponent is standing on one of your cities, without exception, it doesn't matter if you play action cards, if you have other ways of earning gold, if an opponent's dragon is on one of your claimed population centers, whether that's a village or a city, you gain no gold from that tile. So there is a way to block your opponent by standing on their cities. That is the tribute phase. One other note with the tribute phase is, in the case here where we ended, we had the gold dragon who was not standing on his populated tile that he had claimed. The nickel dragon was. Now, what I had done is I had rolled the die to simulate the tribute. Now, actually, in a gameplay, this dragon would not actually roll the die because this is his only claimed city and he's already standing on it. So he would automatically get the gold as if he'd rolled a 3, 4, or 5. So in this case, he would earn 1 gold automatically because his dragon is standing on a village tile that he had claimed. In the case of the gold dragon, however, he is not standing on that tile. He does not gain the gold automatically, and he would have to do his die roll as we had done. In that case, a 6, which would give him 2 gold. So now the gold dragon would move up to 2. I thought it would be a good idea to play through a few turns of Dragoon to give you a feel for how the game flow works now that we've broken down the 3 phases. And then I'll also take some time to talk about the action cards themselves. So what we're going to do is we've got the game set up for 2 players. Obviously no population tiles on the board. Everyone is at 0 on the score track. Each dragon has 3 cards. We start with the Populate phase. So we roll our die. We have a 3, 3. We're going to get a village. We have a 5, 6. This is a red 5 and a black 6, so that's going to go there. And then we have a black 1, red 6. Black 1, red 6. So those are our 3 villages that we're going to work with for this time being. The black nickel dragon is going to go first. He's going to begin his turn by drawing a card. I'm going to take a look at what cards he has here, see if there's anything he can do. Doesn't appear there's much that he wants to do here, so we're just going to hold those here for a second. He's simply going to take his 3 actions by moving 1, 2, and then his 3rd action, he's going to claim that village for himself. That moves to the gold dragon. The gold dragon draws the top card of the deck. Take a look and see what he has, see if there's anything he wants to play here. He does. He's going to play the Fair Wind card. This allows him to move 2 spaces. He gets to skip over any interaction in the first square that he enters, and this doesn't cost any actions. Normally a movement would cost actions. This does not. So he gets to move 2 spaces for no actions at all. Now, with his turn, he has his 3 actions still. So he's simply going to do his 1. He's going to go 2 to claim that, and then 3, moving 1 step closer to the black nickel dragon toward his cave. So that is the end of the action phase. Both dragons have taken their 3 actions. We now move to the tribute phase. So in the tribute phase, the black dragon here is standing on his village that he's already claimed, so he's automatically going to gain 1 gold. We'll simply move his skull marker up the track. The gold dragon is not standing on his, so he would actually have to roll, and he rolled a 6. Now when you roll a 6, you gain, for every village tile that you have, you gain 2 gold. So the gold dragon is going to gain 2 gold and move himself up the score marker. That's the end of the tribute phase. We now go back to the populate phase. And the populate phase starts with the player in last place. In this case, the black nickel dragon is in last place. He gets to determine who goes first. He decides he wants to go first when he does that, when he gets to the action phase. We start with populate again. So we're going to roll the dice again. We have a black 3 and a red 6. We're going to get a village. We get a red 2 and a black 6. So over here we're still empty. So another black village here goes in. And for our 3rd and final roll of the populate phase, we roll a 1 red, black 3. So we're going to put another village tile on the board. Black nickel dragon had determined he was going to go first this turn, so he begins his turn by drawing a card. And he has the ability to play some extra cards here. So what he's going to do is he's going to first play, and again, every card you play costs no actions. So he's going to play the Benevolent Master card. This allows him to upgrade 1 village that he's claimed to a city, which gives him potential to earn more gold. So he's simply going to upgrade this black village tile to a red city, so that can earn him more gold. Again, he's not taken any actions. He's only used a card. He's then going to play the Fair Wind card that we saw before, that the gold dragon played on his last turn, to allow him to move 2 spaces freely, not counting any actions. So he's going to now move over to this village and use 1 of his actions to claim the village. So he's now claimed 2 villages, or another village, and he still has 2 of his actions left. Now what he can do, he sees a threat. He sees the gold dragon approaching his cave. So what he's going to do is he's going to use his other 2 actions to simply move 1 and 2, entering this space with the gold dragon. He's going to try and defend his cave by initiating combat, which is something we didn't talk about during the phases. When the dragons occupy the same space, they simply roll off. So we'll use this die for the black nickel dragon, who rolls a 2. The gold dragon rolls a 1. Since the black nickel dragon rolled a 2 to the gold dragon's 1, the gold dragon is defeated. The winning dragon gains 3 gold from the loser, or if the loser doesn't have 3 gold, the winner's simply going to take all of it. So the nickel dragon's going to take both of the gold dragon's gold and send the gold dragon back to his cave. So the black nickel dragon has now successfully defended his cave. It is now the turn of the gold dragon. Now the gold dragon here is going to simply draw a card from the deck to start his turn. So we're going to draw the card there. And he's going to play the Thief card. What the Thief card does is it allows him to either steal a card at random from his opponent's hand, or he can choose a target player to lose 3 golds, which is what he's going to do. And those 3 gold get lost to the Thief. So the black nickel dragon is going to lose 3 gold. The Thief is going to gain 3 gold. Now we roll the die to determine where the Thief's treasure chest is. And this is going to go to red 2, black 6. So the Thief's treasure chest is going to be over here on this village next to the gold dragon's cave, which actually works out pretty well for the gold dragon since he's the one that played that Thief card. So he's simply going to move over 1. He's going to use a second action to claim this village. And for his third action, he will roll a die to try to steal gold from the thief's treasure chest. He rolled a 4. The thief has 3 gold, so he's going to steal all 3 of the thief's gold and move up 3 himself. So now he has 3 gold. Both the black nickel dragon and the thief have nothing. The thief has no gold, so the thief's treasure chest comes back off of the board to be placed at a later time if he gains gold again. So that is the end of the action phase. Both dragons have taken their 3 actions. We move to the tribute phase. In the tribute phase, both dragons are going to roll. That's not true. Gold dragon's actually standing on 1. He'll roll anyway because he's got another. So he's going to roll. He rolled a 5. So each of his villages that he's claimed is going to give him 1 gold because he rolled a 5. So he gets 1 for this village, and he also gets 1 for this one just simply because he's standing on it, not necessarily because of the roll. So he's going to gain 2 more gold. The black nickel dragon also rolled a 5. Now he has a city and a village. The village is going to give him 1 gold, just like it did for the gold dragon, but he also, with the city, instead of getting 1 gold for the city, he actually gets 3 gold for the city. So he's going to gain a total of 4 gold for his tribute phase. That now stops. That's now the end of the tribute phase. And we're going to do one more round. I want to demonstrate one more round here just so you can kind of get a good idea. We played through 3 turns here, or a couple of turns. So we're going to go to the populate phase. Populate the map some more. We get a red 4 and a black 6. So that's a village tile. A 5-5. Going to place another village tile here. And then we roll a black 4 and a red 2. So this blank space here is also going to get a village tile. So we've populated. We move to the action phase. We look at the scoring track. We see the black nickel dragon is in last place, so he gets to determine who goes first. He's going to go first, and he simply starts his turn by drawing a card. And he has some pretty nasty meanness that he can do here to the gold player. He's going to start by playing the fireball card. Now the fireball lets him destroy any village that's adjacent to his current space, gaining the gold for destroying that village as well. So he's going to fireball that. We're going to fireball this village here. That's going to take the claim away from the gold dragon. That village gets destroyed. And the black nickel dragon is going to gain 2 gold for destroying that village. Again, doesn't cost any actions to use cards, so he could continue playing cards if he would like. In this case, he's not. He's simply going to take his actions. So what he's going to do in this case is he's going to start moving toward the gold dragon's cave to start trying to steal gold there. So he's simply just going to use his 3 actions to do 1, 2, and 3 and move there. We now move to the gold dragon, who starts his turn by drawing a card. And he can now take, we're going to play the thief card again like we saw earlier. Simply make the black nickel dragon lose 3 to the thief. So now we have to roll to put the thief's treasure chest back out again. This goes black 1, red 5. So now the treasure chest is up here next to the black nickel dragon's cave. And we have the ability to move 1, 2. We're going to go 3 and claim this village for ourselves. And that moves us to the tribute phase. So both dragons will roll. We'll use this die for the black nickel dragon, who rolls a 3. So he's going to get 3, 4 gold. And then the gold dragon will roll. He rolled a 2, so he gains nothing this turn. So he stays down there. That is the end of the tribute phase. We now move to the populate phase again. So we populate again, red 4, black 6. Now we have a black village tile here. This tile actually is going to get upgraded now to a red city because we had rolled that. We do 5 and 5. Again, this tile is now a red city, more populous. And for the last roll, we rolled a 1 red and a black 3. So we upgraded 3 villages to cities during that populate phase. We look at the scoring track. As we move to the action phase, we notice the gold dragon is in last place. So the gold dragon is actually going to choose to go first this turn because he needs to do some catch up. He's going to draw a card. And let's see, what can he do here? He wants to claim a couple of cities here, or a couple of tiles. So he's going to play Vigor, which gives him an additional action this turn. So now he's got 4 actions he can use. And he's simply going to use those 4 actions to say 1, 2 to claim the village, 3, and 4 to claim the city. So now he has 4 population centers that have been claimed that can all be giving him gold when we get to the tribute phase, as long as he doesn't lose those to the Black Dragon. So we'll move to the Black Dragon's turn now. He draws a card to start his turn. He is also going to play Vigor, which allows him an extra turn, or an extra action this turn. So he has 4 actions. He's going to use one of those actions to move here. He is going to use a second action to move here. His third action, he's going to claim this city, which removes the Gold Dragon's claim to it. He claims that. He still has 1 action left that he can do. Now, what he's going to do in this case is he's going to play Envoy. Envoy lets him claim a village or city that's adjacent to one he's already claimed. Again, we're playing a card, no actions. So he's simply going to use Envoy to claim this city for himself. Again, for no actions, we're going to play the Fireball card. We're going to get downright nasty here. So the Fireball card lets him destroy anything adjacent to him, including diagonally. So we will Fireball the city where this dragon is standing. This city gets destroyed. And because the Black Dragon destroyed it, he's going to gain 4 gold for destroying that city. It also destroys the claim that the Gold Dragon had to it. And this dragon still has an action left, so he's simply going to move up here into the village. So that is the end of the action phase. We move to the tribute phase. We have the Black Dragon with 4 population areas that can give him gold, and the poor Gold Dragon only has the 1. So the Gold Dragon's going to roll his die. He rolled a 6, so luckily he rolled as good as he could. He's going to get 2 gold there. The Black Dragon will roll his die. He rolled a 6, so he's going to get 4, 8, 10, 12 gold for that roll for his population centers, because he gets 4 for each red city, 2 for each black village. So he's gaining 12. That's going to take him from 11 all the way up to 23 on the score track. We've played a few turns here. I hope you have a good feel for how the game flows. It can be very cutthroat, very take that, but the game will progress exactly as I've been playing it until one player reaches or exceeds 50 gold. So they get around the score track and basically essentially get back to the start space here. Once one dragon has obtained 50 gold, whoever happens to have the most gold at that turn will be the winner. Usually it's the person that gets there first, but I have seen cases where someone's made it to 50 and someone had 52 gold. So that is Dragoon, published by Lay Waste Games. What can I say about it? I absolutely have a blast playing this game. Now, I will say right out of the gate, this game can get really nasty really fast. So if you're not a fan of take that games, or you have people in your game group that may not be fans of the take that genre or the take that mechanism in games, it may be one you might want to check out a little bit deeper to determine. That being said, it's an absolute blast to play. You can play it fairly quickly as well, probably no more than a half an hour. I've played it with kids, I've played it with my regular game group, and it's been a hit both times in both settings. Very quick and easy to teach. The kids are 13 and 10, so I was able to teach it to them really easily. They really like the take that aspect. I don't know if it's just the pleasure of getting to hit dad with cards that make him pay, and just playing card after card after card, since it doesn't cost any action to do so. So it's a lot of fun. The component quality. First of all, the metal components they're so eye-catching on the table. You see that on the table, you just want to walk over and check out, ooh, what is this, and find out more about it. I love the old art style of the map. It looks very, old school RPG, kind of Adventure Time kind of art and feel to it. Very cool. I like that as well. I like the unique take of being able, the score tracker is actually a canvas bag, so you can take everything and throw it all in the bag that is the score track and take it with you on the go, and leave this box at home if you want to take it on the go and travel with it. I really enjoy that aspect of it. So they kind of, thinking outside the box a little bit, and I think it paid off in this this case. I'm really looking forward to seeing, I know I talked about it briefly in the playthrough video, but I'm really looking forward to seeing what the plastic components look like, and how, you know, if there's more detail to the Dragon minis and some of the other components. Looking at getting a feel for, you know, how that works as well. I know the Kickstarter, they're going to be doing the Barbarian and Rogue expansion, adding a couple of human characters to help kind of fight these dragons. Haven't had a chance to play that yet. I'll have a review of that coming out shortly once I do get a few playthroughs under my belt with that. But definitely check this out. I'll be putting a Kickstarter link, or a link to the Kickstarter, in the description of this video. If you have questions about it, comments, feel free to ask in the video here. I know the guys at Lay Waste are very responsive as well. If you have questions posted on their Kickstarter, definitely check this one out. That's Dragoon from Lay Waste Games. And I'm the Chubby Meeple saying until next time, keep gaming, friends.